Morning participants. This session will start as soon the uh, Somil sir joins. We will start within 5 minutes. Good morning, Somil sir.
Good morning, good morning. So I was just asking to unmute me. So can we start or we need to wait?
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So I'm just saying
So
that
you are,
can we start or need to wait for
yes,
five
yes.
minutes?
We can start, sir. And today, since last day, we faced some problem due to mic issue of few of the participants. So today, we have decided that participants will be in the mute mode, and if they want to communicate anything, they will write in chat box so that we can unmute them.
Okay, fine.
Will it
Not
be
a
okay,
problem.
sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Hey,
just a minute, sir. Okay. So
yeah.
today's session will be again delivered by Sumil Deshmukh, sir. And today all participants will be in the mute mode. And those who want to communicate something, they just send message in chat box. And after that, sir will reply. Otherwise, we will unmute that participants over there. So I hope today's session will be very useful for all the participants. Sir, we can proceed now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So guys, good morning everyone. So my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, your voice is clear.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So the thing is that yesterday what we have done is that we have started with Salesforce introduction. We have started. We have logged in into Salesforce, and then we have seen applications within Salesforce, how much applications they are having or which are the applications they are having, and then we have also started working on sales, service, and marketing cloud. So right now we are in the stage that we know the working of Salesforce, the applications that are there within Salesforce. So today, first part, what we will be doing, how to export a data into Salesforce or how to import a data into Salesforce. Sorry, I cannot say export, import a data into Salesforce. Right now, you know that manually you can do all that thing. You can create a campaign, you can create a lead, you can create an account. So all that things you can do it manually. But if you want to import a data bulk, in a bulk you have to import a data. So how you can do that thing, that you should know. So right now I'd be telling you how to import a data in a bulk. Okay, in a Salesforce, any object. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Is it visible? So what we would be doing is that I'm going to again to your login part. Login into Salesforce. Okay, and then login into Salesforce. Right now we can get one example of account. So suppose I'm having an account. So right now you know that if you want to see an account, you have to go to sales, service, or marketing cloud. So that is not the case. You can individually also see account tab. So whatever the tab you are seeing within an app, the same tab you can see individually also. So that is not the thing that it is only linked with the app. They are the independent tab that you can see it from your app managers. So from here, if you want to search for, if you want to see only account tab, you want to see how many accounts are there within your project, so you can just type on account, view more, and here you can see accounts. So like that you can search for any account, or sorry, any object, contact, opportunity. So independently also you can see that thing. So this is not the thing that from app only you can see. Manually also you can type it and you can see the tabs. So I'm just clicking on account tabs. So right now you can see all these things, all the accounts. But these are only the recently view account. It is not having all the accounts. So if you want to see all the accounts within your tab or within your system, how many accounts are there? So in recently view, you cannot see all the account. And this is same for every object. If you are going to any tab, it would not show you all the records. Why that is? You can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm telling you is that when you are clicking on any tab, it would not show you all the records. It would only show you recently view records. So sometime if you are adding some records, so it would not be shown here. So to see your record, you have to move to from recently view to you have to move to all accounts. And that would be same for other objects also. All contacts, all opportunities, like that you have to go. So you need to go to all accounts. So here you can see all the accounts that are there. So right now my customer has given me, suppose I am having one scenario. My customer has given me one Excel sheet and he is saying in that Excel sheet, they are having multiple records of accounts and they want to insert that record within our system. And this scenario, would be happening in every project. Every project customer would have their data, multiple data, in thousands and lakhs of data they would be having, and they would be asking you to import that data within Salesforce. Okay, so that data can be in two format. That can be a Excel format, or that can be a JSON format also. Okay, so I'm saying Excel format, XML format, Excel format they have given. Excel, rows and column format, they have given the data. How to import that data within a Salesforce, that I would be showing you. And the same thing you can do it for other objects also. So right now I am going to my Salesforce, and I am having one Excel sheet. Okay, so this is my Excel sheet, and suppose I am having this much of data, and my customer has given me that these are the name, these are the phone number, and this is the website. So this is a basic data that they have given, and it is also not mandatory for customer also to give every field's data. That is not mandatory. Only that the field that is required or that is mandatory, only that field record is also given, that is sufficient. So it is not mandatory that you should have every field data here. Whatever the fields that are mandatory, or whatever the fields your customer is having, they can give the data. And it is also not mandatory that you should have a field name same. Suppose I'm having a field name as name 1, phone 1, website 1. So my customer do not know that what is your field name in Salesforce. So they do not know what would be the field name in Salesforce. So you cannot expect from them that they would be giving a correct field name. Okay, so they can give any field name, like in their Excel sheet the name is name 1, in their Excel sheet phone number is coming in phone 1, and website is coming in website 1. So that is their Excel sheet, and they can give unlimited data. How much data they want, they can give here. So for now I am saying my customer has given me this Excel sheet, and they are asking me to import this data into your account page or into your account records. So how to do this thing, let's see. So I'm just saving this thing. So if you are having the records in an Excel sheet, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to convert this file into CSV. So Excel file has to be converted into CSV if you want to import that into your system. So CSV is the format of Excel only. CSV is comma separated value. So you don't have to create a CSV file. You just have to save this file as a CSV extension. You have to just save this file as a CSV extension. So how to do that thing? You have done these changes. Go to file. Okay. And go to save as. There is an option for save as. Okay, wherever your file is there, you can give I'm saving account Excel May 23. This is my file name, and here you would have a CSV extension. Here you would have a CSV extension. So give the CSV extension and save it. So just you have to go to save as, give your file name, and here from here you have to give a CSV extension and save it, and go to S. So right now your file would be in the same format, only the extension would be CSV, because the file that is required for your object to store a record, any object in Salesforce, that is CSV. So this is done. Now just you have to do that thing for some time, and then yes, and that would be saved. So right now Excel May 23 is the CSV file that is created in my laptop. Now how to import this data? So for that thing, just go to your account page. And after going to this account page, go to import. There is an option for import. And when you are going for an import, it would ask you whether you are having a custom object or whether it is a standard object. So for now, it is a standard object. So what these people are doing is that in this version, they have given both the thing. They have given both the thing. Standard in that they are given both account and contact. So they are saying that you want to add both the things, account as well as contact. But it is not mandatory that with account you should have a contact. If you want, you can have direct account also. So right now I am having only account. So what I would be doing? Account. Now there is a three option for you. This is a totally a new record that you are freshly adding it, or there can be a existing record also. So what does existing record means? So you are having a record inside your account and you want to update that record. So there is a existing record and you want to have a changes in that record. So do that thing, or you can have both the option. So what does both the option means? You are having some new records also and you are having some old one also. So new one would be inserted and old one would be updated. Yes, but for old one you should have a ID. So when you are having that Excel sheet, inside that Excel sheet you should have one column called ID, and in that ID you should have the ID of that record to be updated. For inserted, you won't require ID because ID is not created. But if you are doing update, so at that point you require a ID of that record that you want to update. How to get ID, I would show you. But right now what we would be doing is that we would be inserting fresh records, new record to our system. Okay. So I have created the file. I am saying the new record. Okay. Now new record, after this thing is done, from here you can get a CSV file. From here you can get a CSV file. Just click on CSV and choose file. Okay. So choose file. So now what will happen is that go to your folder where you have kept that file. So my folder, this is a account Excel May 23. So this is my file. So I have given that file and then I would be going to next. So right now the part is that the column name that I have given was name 1, phone 1, website 1, and the field name that has to be mapped with that column is different, because from here, from account, there is no name 1 column, there is a name column or a name field. There is no website 1, there is a website thing. So right now you have to map your Excel column with the field in which you want to insert a data. So there a mapping has to be done, because you also know that when customer would be providing you the Excel sheet, the column name he would be providing and the field name that you people are having within your object would be different. So if that is different, how to map that thing? So to map that thing, here there would be a map. You have to just edit this thing. Now it is saying name 1 should be gone to which field? So I would be saying account name. Here you would be getting the field name. So I am saying account name. And then you can just Get it? Means you can get a mouse and a control button. Your screen would be in small size, and here at bottom you can get map. So right now I have mapped my account name with name 1. Same thing I will be doing with phone 1. So map what I want, phone. So I would be searching for phone. So account phone, because there they would be getting contact field also. But right now I only want account field. So I'm saying account phone. So account phone would be mapped with a phone map. So account phone is mapped with a phone number. And same thing I am saying website. Account website would be mapped with a website. So like that you have to map your field with the columns that is there in your Excel sheet, because 101% there would be a guarantee that the column name that you have entered or your customer has entered and the field name that that object is having can be different. So like that you can do the mapping and then you can keep on next. So 3 field are map, okay, that was given to you, and then you can start import. So our import would be started, and it would be started asynchronously. What does asynchronous means? Can anybody tell me what is asynchronous part? You can type also. What does asynchronous means?
Two events occurring at different times. They are not synchronized. Any two things when occur at different time, we call it as asynchronous.
Maybe or may not be.
Like
Anybody
you are
else?
teaching, like you are teaching and I am doing. If we both are synchronized at the same step, means we are going together. If I am left behind, you have gone. Then we are unsynchronized. If
Yeah,
that is an
that is
example of
a near about but not exact. So asynchronous is the part in which the system is running in background. So when any system is not on your front and it is running in background and parallelly you are doing some other work, that is called asynchronous. So what will be happening is that when you are doing this import work and there are lakhs of data, so lakhs of data would require time, and if that is happening in front of you, means at the same time synchronous in front of you, what will happen? You cannot do other work. But in this system, this import would be happening asynchronous, means it would be happening in background. So what you can do is that at the same time you can do other work also. So that mode is called asynchronous mode. Asynchronous means that would be happening in background, or the action would be happening in background, not in the front, so that in the front you can do other work also. So what will happen is that when you are doing all this thing, there is one job called bulk data load job. Bulk data load job. So what this bulk data load job do? So this bulk data load job, what they are doing is that they are running or they are doing this task, insert, update, delete from an Excel sheet in a background. And you can see in the bulk data load job the status of your Excel sheet that has been loaded. So when you are loading that thing, it would be directly navigated you to this page. This is a bulk data load job page. Suppose it is not navigated, you can go to home, and from here also you can search for bulk data load job. Click on this bulk data load job. You would be seeing the completed in progress jobs here. Right now there was only 8 record, so it has been completed in 2 or 3 seconds only. So right now if you can see in bottom, you can see this is a job that has been completed, if you can see it at bottom. So if there would be a thousands or lakhs of data, it would have take some time. So if it would have take some time, then it would be in the in progress part. But right now it is completed. So you can see the status of your Excel sheet. How much data has been loaded, how much data has been filled, all that status you can see in this bulk data job. If you can see here, this is a job ID that is created, my name, this is a time. So this is a UST time from there, because my system was integrated with US time. So there will be a different time zone. So this is a different time zone that is there. Bulk CV, 8 record word were proceed, and time was 0.01. So all these things you are getting here. So if there is a in progress part, then there would be a in progress, and you can see how much that is completed or not completed. And simultaneously you can do other jobs also, means you can do other work also, because all these things are working in a asynchronous mode. Okay, now there is one more part here. Just go to this ID, you can see it has shown me completed one batch. So what does this one batch means? So the part is that in Salesforce, working in Salesforce and working in other system or other language is somewhat different. What is the difference? So the major difference between other language and Salesforce is that you are working on cloud, and other system you are working on your machine. So when you are working on your cloud, you are not the owner of that cloud. You are just the user in that cloud. And when you are working on your machine, you are the owner of that machine. So when working as a owner and working as a tenant, because we are a tenant only, we would pay the charge, and till that time we can work on Salesforce. So working as a tenant and working as a owner would be different. So when you are working as a owner, all the rules would be defined by you. But in Salesforce, if you are working as a tenant, means you are working as a user. Salesforce is not owned by you. You are just a user inside that thing. So you have to follow rules of Salesforce. You have to follow rules of Salesforce. And that rules are called governance limit. That rules are called as governance limit. So what does governance limit tell us? So governance limit tell us is that at one time, Salesforce can insert only 400 to 500 record, not more than that. Or you can update only 400 to 500 record one time, or you can delete only 400 to 500 record at a one time. Same is that if you want to select the data, so you can only select 2000 record at a one time, not more than that. So that is a governance limit. But if I'm having an Excel sheet, I would have a thousands or millions of record, and I cannot go with the thing that I would be creating a Excel sheet of 400 record every time, because that won't be feasible for me. If I am having a 10,000 of record, how much file I would be creating, and how many time I would be getting that file to this job. So what would happen is that I would be telling you, how this system works. So I am having a 10,000 of records, but I cannot give directly this record to Salesforce. Why? Because there is a governance limit. So directly it is not possible. So what I would be doing is that internally, when these things are coming, I would be giving this 10,000 record to bulk job loader. Okay. What this bulk job loader would be doing? It would be dividing these records into batches. So it would be dividing this record into batches, and it would be creating the batches of 200 record each. If you are not giving the number, if you are giving the number 400 or 500, it would be created one batch of 400 record. So what will happen? It would create a batch. So right now what will happen? The 10,000 record would be divided into 200 batch. So batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, like this record would be divided. And then these batches are passed to Salesforce. So we do not have to do anything. Internally, this bulk load job loader would do this thing for us. So it would be dividing that records into multiple batches. It would be dividing this into a multiple batches, and that batches would be then passed to the Salesforce. So what Salesforce would think? So Salesforce would think that okay, I am getting 200 record, so it would process 200 record, then next 200 record. So our governance limit is also not violated, and our all the data would be inserted or updated. So whenever you are inserting, updating, or deleting a record, the records are gone to Salesforce in the format of batches. Why batches? Because there is a governance limit, and we cannot exceed governance limit because we are not a owner of Salesforce. So whatever Salesforce tell us, we have to do that thing. Got it? So if you can see here, there is a only one batch is completed. Progress is 100%, 8 record was inserted, all that things you would be. If there is a fail thing, that you would be getting a fail thing also. And only one batch is completed. Batch means only, since 8 record is there, so only one batch of 8 record. If I would have a more than 200 record, you can test it also. If you are having a more than 200 record, then your 2 batches would be created. Like that batches are processed, and it is done in a asynchronous way. So from front side, you don't have to bother on any part. You don't have to bother on any part. You just have to bother on the Excel sheet. Give the Excel sheet, it would be divided into batches, and that batches would be inserted into your account. Then you can go to account and see that whether the data is inserted or not. So any question on this bulk data load job? Got it? What is bulk data load job? Any question on this part? You can raise a hand, we can unmute you.
Rupali is saying, can we implement it practically?
Can we
And then
implement it in?
how data loader works was that is the first question raised by Rupali Veragre, and second is, can we implement it practically? How
So
data
what
loader
is this?
works?
So this is a data loader only, no? So I'm saying the same thing, that you have to go, you have to create an Excel sheet that I have shown you in the starting. You have to create an Excel sheet. Then you have to go to your object. So the same thing I have shown to you, no? So I have done it practically only. Go to your account, go to import. So same thing I have told you. So this is the only case that we are implementing a data loader. So do you want other things or any other part? So this is only the thing that you have to first create an Excel sheet, convert into CSV file, and then after converting into CSV file, import here, do the mapping, and just click on import. Your data loader would be start, and your data would be loaded into your account system, and that would be done asynchronously. And I have told you that you can search all that things from home. You can go here and go for bulk data load job. See here, right now only we have done this thing. We have load the file, and you can go to this job ID and you can see what is the status of your job. One batch is completed, 100% data is in progress, miss that is inserted, 8 record was progress. So all these things are practical only, no? Where is the theoretical thing?
Sir, Mr. Dayanand Ambade is asking, is there a specific batch size mentioned?
Yeah, there are other batch size means what?
Batch size, sorry, batch,
Batch
BATCH.
size, yeah. So batch size is 200 records is the by default batch size. If you are not giving, so when you are going with this part, direct part, at that time you cannot give any batch size. So 200 record is the batch size. But yes, if you are doing a coding, there is a other part also to implement this thing by using code. So you need to write a Apex code also, and there is one class called bulk data loader. In that you can provide the size also, but that you have to do with coding part. Here by default 200 is the batch size.
He's saying, is this the default value, sir? 200 is the default value? Is there
The
any default value?
default value is 200.
Okay. And Vaishali Bilsare is asking how image related data are stored.
Image related data you can have that thing, but that is not possible from here this side. This is only the data that is already Excel format. So whatever the field you are having, see, whatever the field that is there in data, that you can upload. For having a image or any other thing to upload, then there are different websites, data loader websites are there, whose use you can do. You can add your image in the Excel, and then you can upload this. But that is done with a data loader websites. External websites are there to do all these things. This cannot be done with this system. Inside data loader cannot import a image. That has to be done with external data loader sites. This can only import a data, the data in the fields, and maximum 90% you would have a data only, because all the objects are having data only to be filled in your objects. So there would be a data only 90%. So that can be done from this side only. You do not have to require any external sites. Any other question?
You can proceed, sir.
Okay. So this is a part that you can check with data loader. So this is a inside data loader. Inside means inside a Salesforce. Yes, but that is not the thing that this is only the part that you can import a data. There are various websites also of data loader. So from there also you can connect that data loader with Salesforce and you can load the data. So there are various what we can say websites are there. Like I can give you one website called Workbench. Workbench is one of the website. So this is directly integrated with Salesforce. So you can just click on this and log in with Salesforce. But at a second tab, you should have a Salesforce that is already logged in. So in one tab, you should have open a Salesforce, and in another tab, you can open this Workbench. Okay. And in that Workbench, you are having this data. So you can insert single record or you can choose a file and insert a record. So you can do this with this external system also, that is Workbench. So there are various external system from where you can connect with Salesforce and insert a data, insert, update data, single data, Excel sheet, all that things you can do. Okay, so what we would be doing right now is that this was a part that would be sufficient for having a data load. So what we would be doing right now is that we would be working on one of the project. Means we would be creating one project. Like you have seen that there is an app, tab, and other processes are there. So what we would be doing is that if you want, you can do it parallelly with me, or else you can see this recording and do it later on. So right now what I am doing is that on my WhatsApp, I would be, means on your WhatsApp group, I would be sharing a design document. So whenever you have to create a project, whenever you have to create a project in a company, they would be providing you the design document. And you have to strictly follow that design document to create a project. So there is no verbal communication part, or there is no the thing that I would be telling you on phone and you would be working on that project. That is not the part. In any company when you are working, there will be a design document given to you that can be given to you by the customer, or can be given to you by your architect, or whoever is the senior most person who has connected with customer. They would give you the design document. Inside that design document, all the things would be mentioned. Inside that design document, all the things would be mentioned. What you need to do, what are the things you have to add, all that things would be given in a clear cut way. You have to just see that design document and you have to create your project. So we would be doing the same thing. So what we have to do is that we have to create a leave management project. Okay, so I am showing you the design document of leave management project first. And same design document, give me 2 minutes, I am sharing with you people. So this is a leave management system whose design is given to us in a document format. So this is a design document that is given to you in a document format. I have shared this thing in your WhatsApp group. You can check it from your side also. or whatever the things that is given there in this design document, same thing you can proceed. Okay, so this is a design document, and in this design document everything has been given. Everything, what are the things you have to do. Okay, so we would be going step by step with this design document and try to complete our project. Okay, and in this we would try that most of the tools that are there in Salesforce, we would try to complete that tools, or we would try to know that tools, whatever the tools we are having. Okay, so I would first show you the project, what is exactly the project, so you would have a one glance on what exactly you have to work on. So this is a project for leave management. Okay, so I have already created that project. I am just showing you what that project is. That so there is an app, and this is a custom project. What does custom means? We have to create that project. So view all. So I am having this leave application project. So this leave application project would have only two tabs. There is no supply. This would not be there. So there would be two tabs: leave and employee. So when this application is created, you would have only two tabs: employee and leave application. So first thing is that this is not the thing that all the two tabs would be shown to everyone. This would not be the case. What will happen is that the employee, this is for any company, any company. What we are trying to get this from this project is that when this project would be implemented, employee can take a leave, and that would be shown on the employee page how much leave they have taken. Simple project. But there are various conditions and all the things that we have to add it. So there would be two tabs: employee and leave. So first tab would be visible to HR person only. HR person means whose profiles are HR, because HR or admin would only create an employee. Employee cannot create their own employee. So there is no facility of doing that thing. So first tab, that is the employee, that would be only visible to HR or admin people, or the profile whose profile is admin or whose profile is HR. And from here they can add a employee. So there will be employee tab, and from here new, they can add any employee. Okay, so I'm saying I'm having one employee Pankaj G, email. So whatever the email you want, you can keep email, address, date of joining, whatever would be the date of joining that you have, you can keep. And there would be a country and state. But here the part is that country and state pick list are dependent pick list. So what does dependent means? If we are selecting India, then only India's state would be coming. And if you are selecting US, then US means whatever the thing, US or China, their data would be coming. So this is a dependent pick list. So one pick list is dependent on other. So if you are going with India, so here India's data. How we have to do all this thing we would be doing. Contact number, whatever the contact number, social page, anything is there. And there would be total leaves that is applicable to this person. So this page we have to create, in which there would be a first name, last name, email ID, address, date of joining, country, state, and number of leaves. Suppose I am saying 50 leaves has been assigned to him, and save it. So this would be the data that would be shown here. Yes, but when we are creating an employee, the employee would have one number. Means whenever the employee is created, there would be one auto number. So one employee is created 1, then 001 is employed, second is created 002. So like that auto number would be generated and that number would be assigned to the employee. So when we are creating an employee, there would be an auto number for employee. So this is the part that we have to do. Then there is a leave application. So what we have to do in leave application is that this leave application tab is visible to whom? To employee only. Because employee would take a leave. Employee would take a leave. So this would be visible to employee. So what employee would be doing is that it would be created a new. Now there would be an option of whether the employee is temporary or permanent. So we have to give two options to the employee, because employee can be permanent or can be temporary. So we have to give the option, like I am saying the employee is permanent. So if the employee is permanent, the user interface means you are having this user interface in which there would be a from date and to date, from which date to which date that employee is working or want to take a leave. Okay. Employee search the employee name. So there would be no search from employee name. It would be searched by number, because most of the company is assigning number to the employee. So the employee is identified by a number, not a name. So I'm saying 0015 is the number. Leave reason, like I'm saying sick leave. Okay. Type. So whether this type is, so leave type is there, privilege is there, optional is there, leave without pay. So like that. Status. So it is not the case that when leave is applied, it would be approved. The leave would be going to the manager and then they would be approving all that things. So right now you can say that, okay, we can say approve only for this reason. But first of all, it would be in pending and then it would be going to approve. So I'm saying approve right now and save it. So what will happen in the leave application? You would see the leave number. So leave should also have a number. So leave, when we are adding a object or when we are adding a record in leave, it would also generate a auto number, same as employee. So same as employee, in leave also there would be an auto number. Okay. So number would be generated from date to date. So here automatic calculation would be done that how many days leaves you are taking from date to date. Leave status, privilege and all that things would be done. So this is a way in which leaves would be taken by the employee. But this is not only the case. From an employee page, when you are going to the employee page and when you are going to exit employee, see here your total leave would be shown, but here it would also show you how much leave you have taken. So your employee and leave page are linked with each other, and whatever the leaves you would be taking there, the same thing would be reflected here. So it is showing you that you have taken 3 leaves, and it would also show how many balance leaves are there. So you have to link your leaves with your employee, and whenever you are taking leaves there, that leaves part would be reflected here also, and the employee can check how many leaves they have taken, how many leaves are balanced, all that things. So this is a system that we have to create. Okay. So how to create this system or how to start working on this part, we would be seeing we would be seeing step by step. So any question on this part, how it is working? leaves and employee. Two tabs, but in company when actual this project would be working, employee tab would be shown to HR or admin person who would be creating a employee, and leave page would be shown to employee who would be taking a leaves. But whenever the employee is taking a leave, the same thing would be reflected on the leave page also. How many days leaves he has taken. Suppose right now again I am saying new. If I am saying temporary employee, okay, or if I am saying new temporary. So see, depending on the type, your look and feel would be changed. Suppose see, page is same. Yesterday I have told you that here there is one facility called multi-tenant. Means what? You can show a same page to multiple customers with different look and feel. So what has happened here is that when I am clicking as a permanent employee, I am showing the page in this format. And when I am clicking as a temporary employee, I am showing this page in different format. So page is same, but the format is different. So that also facility we have to provide it. So suppose I am saying I am a temporary employee, I am taking a same leave, I am taking it from 1 to 6. Sorry, this has to be 9. Leave status approved. I am saying same employee 115. Sick leave. Type optional and shift. Okay, now he has taken 8 days. So previously he has taken 3 days, right now 8 days. So when you are going to this employee tab, going to this employee, total leave would be 11. 8 plus 3. So it would not only calculate single leave, it would be calculating all the sum of the leaves you have taken. And it would show how many leaves you have taken, how many is balance, what is the total. So all these things should be reflected. Got it? What are the things we have to do? Any question on this part? Any question what the things we have to do?
No, sir, there are no questions.
Okay. So the part is that.
Just a minute, sir.
Sorry,
Just a
yeah.
The Anand sir is asking what is current role?
What is current?
Role.
Current what?
Current role. Sir, you can see that in chat box. You can see the question.
I'm not seeing this thing because I'm sharing my screen.
Right,
So
sir.
because
The role she is saying current
Role.
role, ROLE role.
there is no current role, there is current profile. So role and profile are different. So when you are entering into system, there is a profile assigned to you. Okay. So profile is the thing in which whatever the thing you can see or whatever the thing you can do, that is there in the profile. So like what I have told you, that there would be multiple user. So some user would have a profile as HR, some would have a profile as admin. So these profile can only see this tab, employee tab, and some profile would have a profile as employee, so they can only see this leave application tab. So when you are entering the system, when you are entering as a system, so you would have one profile. and the current profile that you are having is a system admin. So when you are first entering into when you are first login into system, your current profile is a system admin right now, because you can see everything. But when you are creating multiple user, you can assign multiple profile to multiple user, and in that profile you can tell what these people can see and what they cannot see. So that is profile. And there is role also, but I do not think that within these 3 days of time we can discuss on roles and profiles and other thing, because that is a vast thing that is having in a security part. So yes, there can be a role, but you can create a user without role also, but you should have a profile. So there is no specific current role part. You can assign a role, but without role also user can be there. But yes, user can have a profile, and the current profile that the user is having is a system admin. And if you want to see that thing, go to your current profile, or from here go to setup, go to users. Here is a users, you can see, and just type, click on your user, click on your user, your name, and here you can see a profile, system admin. Yes, you can have a role also, but that is not mandatory. So that is a different story of roles. You can learn on a security chapter is there, in which you can have profile, permission, role, OWT, all that things are there. But if I am starting from there, then it would take much time. But yes, every user would have a profile, and the first user that enter into the system is a system admin. Got it? Got it? This question? Answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any other things? Okay.
No more questions, sir.
Okay. So we can start, right? So we would be starting building our application. So just if you want, I have shared that in your group. So you can start from that. So our leave system, they are asking you to create two custom objects. See, we would be going with this part only. So they are saying create two custom object, leave application and employee. Okay. An object as a auto number. So what does this object as a auto number means? So when we are creating a object, so I have already told you yesterday only. So object is a user, for user that is a page. So when we are clicking on employee page, or when we are clicking on new leave page, that is a page for user. For developer it is what? Object. So we have to create an object to create a page. So they have told us that you have to create two object, leave application and employee, and all these two object, both of these two object would have one field in which there would be a auto number. So what we can do is that when we are creating an object, we can add one field. While creating an object, we can add one field. So what these people are saying is that when you are creating an object, add one field in leave application and one field in employee, and that field should be a auto number, so that when employee is created, one number would be generated, 001, 002, like that. And when leave is also created, a field would be generated with 001, 002, like that. So let's start and create a custom object like that is shown here. So just I'm going here, and you also know from setup you can go to object manager. Okay, and from here you can create a custom object. You also know there are two type of objects, standard and custom. Standard are that are already made, and this is the custom type. So say custom object. Okay, so this is a custom object. So you need to create a label. Label is the part which is shown on your page, and field is the part which would have a data. So field and label are different. Label is, so like this, plural label. So this is a label, but the data would be filled in this field. So field name can be different. Okay. So right now they are saying what should be the label for your object, and whatever would be the label would be the name of your object also. So suppose first I would be creating leave application. So I am adding here name leave application. So label can have space because it is only for showing the thing, but object cannot have space. If you want to create an object with space, then if you have to give underscore, but that cannot have a space. But label can have space, huh? But in your Salesforce, you should have only unique objects. Means the name of that object should not be repeated. But right now I am having multiple objects with name as leave application. So what I am doing, I am giving here the name leave application 12. Why leave application 12? Because already I am having an object called leave application. 1 to 10 I am having. So I am giving a name as leave application 12. But you people can give the name as leave application only because you people do not have that object. Okay. And when you are clicking on the object name, same name would be reflected here. Only the difference is there. It would have an underscore because object name cannot have a space. Label can have a space. Okay. So I have given a unique name. Then what is a plural name? So plural name is that you also know singular means single, plural means multiple. So what Salesforce is saying is that you also know that when we are having an object can have multiple records. What does multiple record means? See, if I am going to this employees, so when I am clicking on the employee tab, there you are seeing multiple record. So every object would have a multiple record. Leaves would have a multiple record. Resource would have a multiple record. So what Salesforce is saying is that when I am showing multiple record, I would be using plural name. See, when I am clicking on employee, what is the name? Employees. When I am clicking on leave application, what is the name? Leave applications. So what they are saying is that when you would be showing a multiple records, I would be showing a name what? Plural name. And when you are clicking on single record, like I am clicking on 0015, it would be show singular name. So in Salesforce, you have to provide two names, where to show singular and where to show plural, that they would decide. Okay, but you have to give two names. So when we are clicking on employee tab where multiple employees are there, so they are taking a name employees. And when you are clicking on single record, it is getting a name employee. So for that reason, you have to give a plural name also. So plural name doesn't have anything. In front, it is having S. So I'm saying leave application 12S. So this is our plural name. So every object that can be a custom or that can be a standard, that can be a custom or that can be a standard, can have two names. Means you have to give a two names. One is plural and one is singular. In name you can have a space, but in exact object name there cannot be a space. Okay, now description you can write it what exactly this object is, but that is not mandatory. Now there is a thing that when you are creating an object, you can create one field, and in this design document they are saying object name as auto number. Means when we are creating object, we have to create one field, and that should be a auto number. Okay, and for leave application the number should be 5 zeros, or for employee it should be a 3 zeros. And what should be the field name? So you can go downside and here you can get the field name. Field name is written here, that E code should be your field name. And for leave application, leave number should be your field name. So okay, I would be creating that field name when I'm creating an object. So I'm saying leave number. This is a field that is created while creating an object. ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते वक्त ही हम लोग फील्ड नेम दे सकते हैं, बट उसमें दो ही टाइप रहते हैं, एक तो ऑटो नंबर या टेक्स्ट. अभी हम लोगों को ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते वक्त बोला गया है कि ऑटो नंबर वाली फील्ड बनाओ. एक का नाम है एम्प्लॉय के लिए ई कोड और लीव के लिए नाम है लीव नंबर. सो मैं यहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड नेम में क्या लिखूंगा? व्हाट आई वुड बी राइटिंग हियर इज लीव नंबर. दिस वुड क्रिएट वन फील्ड inside an object, and it would have a auto number like this. Like this auto number it would have. So leave number and the data type would be auto number. But when you are giving the auto number, you have to provide the range also. Range means how, from where we have to start. So in this design document it is shown that leave number should start with 5 zeros. So you can get 5 zeros here in this format only. So I have to give this format. So it would be starting with 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. Like that it would be starting. And what would be the starting number? Shall it be start with 0 or shall it be start with 1? So I am saying from 1. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, like that it will start. So like that you can provide an auto number. Like this you can provide an auto number. Got it? Till now any question on this part? How to create an object and how to create a field within an object, how to give plural label. Any question till now? Okay, then there is a facility. See, you are creating an object means you are creating a user interface. So there is an option to allow your data into report. Means you want to show your data into report, because most of the time customer would tell you to create a report. So whether you want to create your data into report, I can say yes. Allow activities. So activities are the things that are shown here at the left side. Okay, so at the left side you are having the activities tab. Okay, sorry, in the right side you are having the activity tab. Okay, so if you want, you can get this activity in a left side, a right side. So activities are the thing in which you can create a task, you can log a call, or you can write an email. So these are small activities that can be helpful to you while creating a record, or while editing or deleting a record, or while using that record. So this is a free of cost thing that is provided to you. If you want, you can add this activity to your page, and if you do not want, just select unselect it. 1 minute. Got it? So the part is that this activity tab, you can click it or uncheck it also. I am clicking is checked. Track field history. Track field history is for who has edited a page, who has updated a page. All that things you can get it in track field history. And allow in chatter group. Chatter is an external environment like WhatsApp. If you want to show data in chatter, you can click it allow in chatter. Right now we do not require it, so you can just uncheck it. Bulk API, bulk access, that are the different thing that comes in development part. So you can keep it checked also, because later on you can access these things. So right now you can check is checked, but for this thing you do not require this thing. Right now you do not require this thing, but later on in development you can be having use of these APIs. So my request is that whenever you are creating object, just check these API things. So this is the format of creating an object, and every time it should be in a deploy mode only, not in a development. Because what we are doing is that when we are creating a page, at the same time we want to add that page into app and tab. So if you want to do it in the same time, then your object mode should be in deploy, not in development. If it is in development, then whole development would be completed, then only you can add it in a tab or app. But right now what we want is that as soon as I am creating a page, I can add it into tab and app, and I can see it. So for that reason, your deployment state should be in deployed only. So any allow search, that also you have to check. Allow search means what? When there is a list on a tab, from here you can search the record. So if you are clicking allow search, then here you can type anything and your record would be searched if there is anything. Okay, so this is a facility that you can avail by checking allow search. So any question till now on this creating object, because this is a base thing for every Salesforce to know, because page are created from this side only or from this way only. By creating an object, you are creating a page, or by creating an object, you are creating a business logic, or by creating an object, you are creating a database. All three in one: front end, back end, business logic. All the things will be covered in a object only. So you do not have to write all the three things, or you do not have to work on all the three parts. Just create one object, all the three things would be created. Logic would be written, pages would be done, and database would also be created for this specific object. So any question till now for this creating an object? Any question?
Please raise your hand if you have any questions. You may continue, sir.
Okay. So I am then saving it. So this is an object that is created, means object is a page, and this is your object name. I have told you that object name would be underscore underscore C would be there. Why underscore underscore C? Because it is a custom object. Okay, And in the field and relationship, you can find some fields also. So I have not created any fields. Still, I can see 4 fields here. So what are these 4 fields? So first field is the leave number. The field name, they are already taken it as a name. But what is that? Auto number field that we have created while creating an object. Name is leave number. And all these 3 fields created by last modified by an owner ID. These 3 fields are already there in each object. These 3 fields are already there in each object. And these fields are connecting with user. So we are having a user object pre-built, already built. There is an object called user. So what is happening is that I would tell you in some file new.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, as soon as I clicked on save button, I got a permission errors to set the
What
permission.
permission error you have got?
It is saying permission for this object are disabled for all the profiles by default. You can enable object permissions in permission sets or by editing
Because
custom.
I think that you have already created some profiles and permission, right?
No, I was doing in along with you only. As soon as I clicked on
So
save
you have
button.
already created a Salesforce login previously, or this is the first time that you have created?
Yesterday I created when you were instructing along with you. Yesterday
So
I
can
did
you
on.
check? Can you check the profile that you are having to your page? Like you
New
can
pro
go to user. I have shown you from here setup. Go to user
setup.
home. From here you can go to search for a user.
Yes, sir.
Go
Permission
to
sets.
user. No,
Huh.
no, no. Go to user.
Yes, I went there. Yes, sir,
Here
I've gone to
click
user.
on your user and check what is the profile here.
Hey, inside user I'm getting permission set groups, permission sets, profiles. Which option
There
shall
would
I
be
see?
users also.
Yes, user is also there.
Go to users.
Yes, sir.
Inside that, search for your name.
Yes, sir.
And if you are searching, then search whether your profile is having a system admin.
Yes, sir. System
What is the
admin.
profile?
System administrator.
And is there any role assigned to you?
No, sir.
No. So that is okay that you are having a system admin as a profile. So what you have to do is that there are some changes that we have to do. So if I'm telling right now, so it would get some time, because for some people that would happen that we have to do the changes in profile. So what we can do is that after 4 o'clock, I would share my Zoom meeting. Just share your screen and I would tell you how to change your profile. But that is
Okay.
a long way,
Okay,
because
sir.
here right now, if I'm telling you, then most of the people time would be wasted. But
Okay, sir.
90% people won't have that access part. But some people have to change their profile. Means they have to change the access within profile or permissions. Okay.
Okay,
So you
sir.
can
Okay.
just ping me after 4 o'clock. We can have that session and I would tell you how to get that access.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Okay,
we would
thank
do
you, sir.
that thing definitely.
Okay.
Anytime you can connect with me, I would tell you. But that
Okay.
would require some time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So right now, if you can go to this part,
Sir, without this step, can I proceed along with you? Or I'll have to stop?
I do not think, because you don't have a permission to create an object, so you won't be.
Oh, okay, sir.
Else, what you can do is that a safer way is that check with go with new login, just like yesterday. Go with developer login. Get your new email ID if you are having any new email ID. Get that thing, and then you can start again.
Okay, sir.
So you can create new account if you
Okay.
want. 5 to 10 minutes is the part that you can create an account. But
Okay,
you
sir.
should have a new email ID, huh? Not
Okay,
a
sir.
same email ID,
Okay, sir.
if you want.
Okay, sir.
So right now in your object manager, you have created an object called view application 12, and in this there is a field. And what I have told you is that in this field there is a one field that you have already created when creating an object. When you have created an object, you have already created one field called leave number, that is auto number, and three fields are also created. So what are these three fields? So these are the three fields called created by, last modified by, and owner. So these are the fields that would be there in every object. So every object would have all these fields. So what is this fields? So I would tell you that when we are creating any object, okay, when we are creating any object like that, like I'm saying, what will happen is that it is linked with a standard object. Every time any object when we are creating, it is linked with a standard object called user, and it is linked with three fields. So what are the three fields? So the three fields are created by, last modified by, and owner. I'm not saying this. This would be the, when you are creating any object, that object would be linked with user name, user object. User is a standard object. And what would be the relation with the user object? It would be one to one. Your one record would have one user, and this user is related with three fields. So in created by also username would be there, in last modified also the username would be there, and in owner also username would be there. So this is a relationship between your object and user object. So when you are creating any object, these three fields would be there. And from where these three fields are coming? So these three fields are coming from user object. User is a standard object. And what is the relationship between your object and user object? One to one. One to one relationship is known as a lookup relationship. So one to one relationship is also known as a lookup relationship. So there is a lookup relationship between these two objects. And this you do not have to create this thing. It is already created when you are creating an object. When you are creating an object, it would be linked with user object with three fields: created by, last modified by, and owner. Means one user can create this thing, one user can be owner of this object, means owner of this record, or one user can modify that record. So at a time, one user can be our owner. At a time, one user can be modify this record, or at a time, one user can create this record. So like that, this relationship is there. This is called a lookup relationship. So have you got this thing? Any question on this part? Any object linked with a user object. and this is there for every object. So if you can see here, created by is linked with user object, and what is the relationship? Lookup. Last modified by link with user, and what is the relationship? Lookup. Owner link with user. Group is also there, but later on you can, means in security you can search for a group, but it is also linked with user. And what is the relationship? Lookup. So every object is linked with user with a lookup relationship. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now you have created an object and you have created a field within this object. Now let's go and create a second object, that is leave. So how? Sorry, employee. So just go to this create, go to custom object and click here employee. Because the object that was told to us is what? Employee. But right now I am having multiple employee object and I want a unique object name. So I am getting here name as employee 12. But yes, when you are creating, you would be creating a employee object only. A name should be employee. You all right now know what is a plural name. So when they would be using a multiple object, when they would be showing a multiple object, they would be using a plural name. And when there is a single object, then they would be using a label name. So I am keeping a plural label as employee 12s. Object name would be same as a label name. Object name would be same as a label name. Okay. Then it was told to you what? That you should have a auto number when you are creating an object, and this should be the format. And what is the name of the field? E-code. So when you are creating an object, in the record name you can click E-code. In the record name you can click on E-code. And what would be the type? Auto number. And what would be the format? Format is for employee 30. So curly bracket 30 we have to give it. Okay. And from where it should be starting? From 1 it should be started. Got it? Then allow report, allow activity, track field history, that you can do it. It should be in a deploy mode only, and allow search. Same like we have created an object for leave application. Same thing. Only just the thing is that here the E code we have to give auto number 3 zeros, and here you have to give object name as employee, plural name as employee S, and other things. And click on save. So right now in your fields and relationship, again you are having 3 fields: created by, last modified by, and owner. And all these 3 fields are linked with a user object. And what is the relationship with the user object? 1 to 1. One record, one user. So one record, one user, so 1 to 1. And 1 to 1 relationship is called as lookup relationship. And there would be a 3 fields in every object to add a user. So what will happen? In your Salesforce, multiple user would be there. So some user can add your record, some user can be owner of your record, and some user can delete your record, means edit your record. So at a one time, one user can do all this activity. So it has been linked with three fields, but one-to-one relationship. An employee is the E code is the field which is having a auto number. E code is the field which is having a auto number. Okay. So these are the field, basic field that would be there. We have not created other fields. These are the basic fields, basic, that are already there when we are creating an object. Chalo then. Right now we have created a fields. What next they are saying? Create a custom tab for leave application and employee object. So this we have created a page. But if you want to see the page, you should have a tab. Without tab, you cannot see a page. So what we have to do is that create a tab. So how to create a tab? So you have to go to home, and here you have to type tab. Okay, and go to tabs. Now you have to click on new. So right now I have exceeded the thing. I would delete some other tabs, like I can delete a candidate 1 tab, employee leave application 11 tab. So lot of tab can be deleted. I am having lot of things here. Okay, because this is a free version. So there is a limit for everything. So new. So you have to just link your object. So what is our object name? Employee 12. So what is a theme? Style. Style is the thing in which they would add an icon inside your page. Whatever the theme you are giving or whatever the style you are giving. So from this thing, whatever the object you are making, so related style you can give it. So suppose you are creating any fruits or anything, you can give a icon as apple, or if you are giving something like computers, so you can have a thing like computers. So like that you can have various themes here. So from here, whichever themes you want, you can do it. I am getting it as safe. Anything you can do it. Then next. Now this is very important page. So every field, every page and every tab, when we are creating, listen carefully because it is very important. When we are creating any page, any field, any tab, any app, we cannot provide access to everyone. So we have to tell them to whom we should provide access and to whom we do not have to provide access. So how we are doing this thing in Salesforce? So in Salesforce, there are various profiles, and inside profile there are user. Okay, so like this works. So suppose I am having this profile 1, and I am having this user 1 inside this, user 2 inside this, user 3 inside this. Okay, again I am having one profile. How to create a profile, that you can learn in security part. Profile 2, and it is having a user 4, user 5. So like that various profiles are there in Salesforce, and every profile is having user inside this. So when we are creating a tab, suppose I am created a tab, or I have created a tab or app. Suppose I have created a tab, and I have created a app also. So when we are creating a tab, we have to tell them, when we are creating a tab, to which profile we have to give access and which profile we do not have to give access. So suppose yesterday what happened is that I am saying I am giving access to this profile only. So what will happen? The user 4 and 5. Okay. So user 4 and 5. Suppose I am saying I am giving this tab 1 access to profile 1 only, not profile 2. And I am giving app access to profile 1 also and profile 2 also. So what will happen? When I am seeing that app, both the profile user can see that app because both the profile user are having that access. But only profile 1 user can see the tab, profile 2 user cannot see the tab. So like that we are providing the access. This is not for only app tab only, this is can be for app also, and this is for field also. So when we are getting access, or when we are providing access, we are providing access to profiles, and inside profile there are user. Okay, so for now you can just remember this thing, but if you want to learn in detail, then you have to learn a security chapter that could have all these things in detail. Okay, but for now just remember that in Salesforce there are different profiles. So right now what you can see here are the name of the profiles. These are not the users, these are the name of the profiles, and you can decide to which profile you want to give the access and which profile you do not want to give the access. And this is for tab also, this is for app also. So like I am saying, if I am saying apply for different tabs, so we can have on, off and tab hidden. So tab hidden and on, off are same only. So if I am keeping tab hidden or off, it would not be shown, and if I am clicking it on, it would be shown. So like that you can decide it for different profiles, and this every profile can have multiple user. How to check that thing? You can get it in security part. But these are the profiles within your Salesforce, and every profile would have a user. So when you are accessing, or when you are telling default on, so that profile would see your tab. If you are clicking at default off, that profile cannot see your tab. Like that we are providing the accesses. Got it? Any question on this part? Accesses. How we are providing accesses to various user to our application. Got this thing? Got it? Any question on this part? Okay, let's start. So I am giving access to everyone right now. Next. Now they are saying whether you want to add your tab to all the existing apps. Whether you want to add your tab to all the existing apps. So I do not want to add the tab to all the existing apps. I want that my tab should be there in my app only. मेरे ही ऐप में दिखना चाहिए, दूसरों के ऐप में क्यों दिखना चाहिए? तो अगर आपने ये चेकबॉक्स चेक करके रख दिया तो प्रॉब्लम क्या हो जाएगा? सभी एप्स में आपका टैब दिखेगा. That we do not want. So I am just excluding this thing and then save it. Okay. So this is the tab that is created for employee. Same thing we can do it for leave application. Click on new. Click on the page name. What is leave application 12? Any theme you can give. Next. Right now I want that it should be accessible to all. If you do not want, that would be there in your design document to whom you have to show and to whom you have to do not show. And that whom means what? Profile. And profile would consider a user, or it would have a users. Okay. So right now I am clicking default on, means access to everyone. Next. Uncheck this thing. For what? I do not want that my tab should be accessible to everyone. I do not want that. So I am clicking it uncheck, because right now till this time I have not created an app. So I do not want that I should add my tabs to other apps. So that should not be the case. So I am unchecking it and then save it. So what has happened till now is that you have created an object, you have created some fields that was already predefined fields that were added there, and you have created an what? Tabs. Every object has to be added into tabs. So you have created a tab and you have provided the access also to whom it should be shown. So after coming from break, we would be adding a what? All this tab to a app, so that our application would be somewhat ready. Okay. So that part we will be doing after a break. So we will be go on a break. Sharp 2 o'clock we would be starting. So be on a time. I won't be waiting for anyone. Okay. So be on a time on sharp 2 o'clock. And then we would be starting with. So any question till now? Ma'am, you can unmute people. So if they are having any question, we can have this in 4 to 5 minutes if they are having.
Kindly raise your hand so that we can unmute. Or write in chat box. Any questions? Any questions, participants?
Okay, if
Shall we?
not there, sorry.
Yes, yes. Shall we go
Then,
for lunch then?
yeah.
I thank sir for the informative session today, and we will again meet at 2 and continue with the project. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Participants give the feedback and attendance. Komal madam, share the link in the WhatsApp. I am ending the meeting here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I am ending the meeting. Okay.
Yes, we can continue.